I choose have a special point to them, and so much great history, particularly what we're dealing in jazz, Great American Songbook, world music. Today, these two composers specialized in film music. There were many other composers that wrote for Broadway. These two composers were hired to do a lot of songs for the movies, and they were gems. Victor Young, who wrote not only songs, but who wrote a complete film score, was amazing. And another one, Harry Warren, he wrote so many great tunes for the films, and he won an Academy Award for one, which I will tell you. We're starting with Victor Young, 1931 film. What it is, I guess you can call it maybe partly supernatural horror, The Mummy, but it's a beautiful melody because the mummy comes back to life, and he sees a young lady who resembles somebody from his past life. And a beautiful melody, beautiful love, haunting theme. Maybe I should play it slow first so you can see the beauty. in the film, which is a love story, this melody is played, I believe it could have been oboe or one of the double reed instruments playing this beautiful theme in a slow, romantic manner. So if you get a chance, check out the movies. It's definitely worth seeing. Boy, as we do more songs by Victor Young, I will tell you about his history. And then also the next composer who wrote mainly for 20th Century Fox studio, Harry Warren, just was another one. Victor Young was close to jazz and to gypsy music, Gypsy Roma. Victor and Harry Warren, whose real name was Antonio Salvatore Guaragna, Italian from Brooklyn. His sister changed the name, and you couldn't say, let's say this Serenade in Blue was written by Antonio Salvatore Guaragna. American audiences would have to think about it and this and that. So his sister changed the name for better business, you know, and it worked in that way. This movie, 1943, I think, or 42, it won an Academy Award for the film with Alice Faye, beautiful actress, singing. Is from a film, Hello Frisco Hello. The title is You'll Never Know. A beautiful melody, as it is chromatic also, is projecting the bebop era, which was happening at the same time. Alice Faye was in a number of good films, even in a, I guess you can call it early film noir, Fallen Angel by Otto Preminger. Dana Andrews comes to a small town, and she is a very straight lady living with her sister, and Dana Andrews is a kind of an adventurer, but it proves good in the end. They fall in love in the end. He was there kind of had no money, so he was on the make, but had a good ending. But Linda Darnell was there, beautiful lady. And I suggest you see it, Fallen Angel. Also, Alice Faye came to the Hyatt when I was playing, and the lady with her said, Alice Faye, I wish I knew what I know now. I wish I knew this song. I would have played it for her. But I played something from that era anyway. I met some very famous people, and the time I wasn't knowledgeable. I would have gotten closer to them, but that's the way it is. It takes time, you know. I should mention now my performances streaming on Saturdays. There's no charge, and because I'm not a tech person, I have to hire a technician to set up the microphones, the sound, camera, and people ask, how can we leave a tip? You know, I need to cover this cost. So the camera is hitting the left side of the piano, and there are three ways: Venmo, Zelle, and PayPal. Whatever you can do, it's appreciated. Thank you very much. I need a sip, and I'll tell you where do we go next. Next selection, we alter one another. Last one, You'll Never Know, Harry Warren. Now we go back to Victor Young. Can't We Talk It Over? Kind of bluesy, slow piece, 1931. In 1938, Count Basie Orchestra, and in particularly trombonist, guitarist Eddie Durham, borrowed from this piece the harmonies, and he put a melody on top, which I'll play for you later, and called it Blue and Sentimental, but it's all Victor Young. And the tune is Can't We Talk It Over? Bluesy. Victor Young was balanced. Bluesy feeling. Gypsy Roma, I will show you in a minute. One of the, he did not get the recognition that he deserves. Poor guy was overworked. So many film scores. He died at the age of 57. Overworked film scores, but he left phenomenal legacy. He came from a prominent Jewish family in Chicago. At the age of 10, his mother died, and he and his sister went to Warsaw to study at the conservatory. And I'll tell you later what happened. Amazing how he became successful. He became a first-rate violinist. But to go back to this tune, 38, Blue and Sentimental, they took it basic from him. Eddie Durham did this. Victor Young. So what happens when somebody borrows from somebody, it's a compliment how good the quality is. So Blue and Sentimental was what became known, but it got all the publicity, but very few people know where it came from. Can't we talk it over? And Victor Young became a phenomenal violinist. Played with the concert orchestras of Europe, symphony orchestras. He wound up playing for the Russian Tsar command performance, and then the communist Bolsheviks jailed him. How did he get away from jail? I've looked, nobody knows. But fortunately, a gentleman who runs Victor Young Estate, he keeps it going, contacted me and told me many details. I'll tell you that. Let's go to Harry Warren, 1931. You're My Everything. The movement of harmonies were ahead of the time. The way they chromatically moved, and just in general, the melodic and harmonic content was ahead of its time. You're my everything. Notable recordings: Miles Davis, Freddie Hubbard. This tune lends itself to some open improvisation because the changes and the melody move in a beautiful way, opening the door. So You're My Everything became a big hit on the jazz scene. Let me have a sip of Turkish coffee. Whenever I do this, brings me back to where I play at different times in Palo Alto. Phenomenal Turkish restaurant, May House, M-E-Y. All organic food, great ingredients, and a small, intimate jazz room. Seats about 34 people. They can be having dinner in a quiet way. They present some renowned people. On September 4th, I'll be there with a great saxophonist from New York originally, Steve Heckman. He's been here a long time, very versatile, and the program is mainly tribute to Sonny Rollins, the giant of the sax of tenor sax. He passed away recently. He was in his mid-90s, I believe. Phenomenal contribution. As a teenager, he played with Bud Powell on the recording Bouncing with Bud. Roy Haynes, Tommy Potter in the rhythm, and Fats Navarro, unsung hero, on the trumpet. So Sonny goes way back, and then on a Miles Davis recording, collector's item, bunch of bottles on the cover. He plays with Charlie Parker. Charlie Parker didn't have an alto, you know, having problems. He wouldn't always, he would pawn the horn to get the stuff, you know, rough times. So Charlie borrowed a tenor, and there were two tenors, Charlie Parker and Sonny Rollins. And how confident was Sonny Rollins on a composition, improvisation? He quotes, "Anything you can do, I can do better." Imagine playing with Charlie Parker. So Sonny Rollins was great. So September the 4th at the May House, back to Victor Young. A wonderful film, My Foolish Heart. A title track song from that film, 1946. Dana Andrews and Susan Hayward became a great jazz hit. Some great recordings of this. One is Bill Evans, My Foolish Heart. And Bill Evans, I don't know how many of you knew, Bill Evans' mother was Russian. She would take him to the Russian church. I don't know if you heard Russian choirs. Go on YouTube. Beautiful choir music, soulful, warm. So I know that did affect his playing. And older countries have something to contribute. America, blues, gospel, jazz. Russia has Slavic melodies influenced by Gypsy Roma music and their own Slavic, but the choir music has a lot of feeling. So Bill Evans' warmth is influenced by that. And also another recording, Bobby Hutcherson, My Foolish Heart. Now, Victor Young was nominated 22 times for Academy Awards because, as you know, you've been hearing, his melodies are phenomenal. He won one time Around the World in 80 Days. A nice melody, but at the same time, it doesn't compare to Stella by Starlight that he wrote, and My Foolish Heart, and things like that. So, but at least he won once Around the World in 90 Days. Next, another film tune, this time Harry Warren, from a film of 1942 about romantic adventures in Iceland with Sonja Henie and John Payne. And the song is There Will Never Be Another You. this tune, people jumped on the recording. Lester Young, Lionel Hampton, Chet Baker. In the 50s, this became a big jam session tune. Almost every jam session, the vocalists and instrumentalists kept asking to play "There Will Never Be Another You." Beautiful melody, and it works. It was done originally slow. See, most of these tunes, even though they were meant for slower tempo, they could be swung. Let's see, next one. Back to Victor Young. And to mention a name, very fine pianist and music instructor in Berkeley, Sally Hannah Rhine, sent me some music, reminded me of this tune, Golden Earrings. Well, I recorded this with excellent violinist Jeremy Cohn. We did a romantic slow version. Sometimes people swing it, but I will do it slow, exposing the tune. And as I said, Victor Young had a feeling for Gypsy Roma music. He was one closest to that. And Golden Earrings became a film. And this is the title piece, and I will tell you what that is about. Golden Earrings took place, the story, in Europe. A special agent, British, was sent to Europe to kind of camouflage himself, whatever he had to do, to steal a poison formula that a Nazi doctor invented. And Germans were getting closer to him, so he made his skin a little darker. And Marlene Dietrich was a gypsy person in a caravan cart, so he joined her, put the earrings, and posed as a gypsy Roma to get away from Germans. So that was the theme for that film. Next, another beautiful Victor Young song from the 30s, Street of Dreams. Street of Dreams, one of my favorite recordings of this. Well, earlier one was wonderful by Russ Colombo. He had a beautiful voice. And the tragedy, he was examining in a museum an old gun. Looking at it, all of a sudden, it kind of fired and went through his heart. I mean, what a tragedy. He had such a beautiful romantic voice. And after that, Bing Crosby became very popular. Had Russ Colombo lived, it would have been, I think, a different story. He had a natural, beautiful voice. So that's a story about Street of Dreams. And then, let me see, of course, recorded by Ella and, as I mentioned, Peggy Lee, with strings, had a great recording, and the pianist Lou Levy provided such beautiful harmonies. That's one of my favorite recordings. Here comes the time again, near the end of the program, some new people. On the screen, you can see a subscribe. If you don't mind, I would appreciate if you subscribe so I get more followers and I can keep on bringing you these programs with some special history and music. And also, as I mentioned, I'm not tech savvy. I have to hire somebody to put the microphones, the camera, and people say, how can we leave a tip to support this? Well, camera is on the side of the piano. There are three ways: Venmo, Zelle, and PayPal. Whatever you can do, it's appreciated. Next, back to swing song September in the Rain by the film of the same name from 1937, Harry Warren. favorite jazz interpretation of this song, you gotta listen to Red Garland. Melodies there, and the stuff has a great groove. Red Garland, Paul Chambers, and Art Taylor. September in the Rain. And we'll be going just one short tune. It's the end of the program. And back to Victor Young. As I mentioned, some composers were happy that their songs were recorded by jazz musicians. They got the money, but they made negative statements about jazz. They wanted their tunes to be played only straight, no improvisation. Peggy Lee had a phenomenal hit on Richard Rodgers' song, Lover. She gave it a free interpretation, make it different. That's the idea, not to sound the same. She played Lover on a very fast tempo. Ba ba da dee da ba with the bongos, you know, really great groove. So she ran into him at a party. Hey, how did you like my version of... She made a lot of money for him. How did you like it? He said, it's supposed to be a waltz. Please. Anyway, we're not dealing with classical music where you leave things alone. The American standards are meant to be improvised on. Another one, Jerome Kern, didn't appreciate improvisation. Oh, but he was glad to get the bread when they recorded his tunes. So Victor Young, totally different, very free thinking. This is a version that I'm going to play of 1928, Sweet Sue. Thank you. I'll be back in 2 weeks. Actually, I have one more next weekend, and then I'm in Palo Alto doing Sonny Rollins. So next week I'll have another interesting theme, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. See you soon.